Merry meet everyone. Today is my first Witchy Haul, official Witchy Haul video. As you can see, it pretty much is kind of a Halloween haul, except that all of these items I am planning on doing witchy things with. So, yeah, so I'm gonna start taking you on a little tour. Please apologize. I apologize for my voice. It's kind of scratchy and wonky. Yesterday I suddenly got really sick. It kind of kept creeping up on me throughout the day, and by the end of the night it was just, I'm done. And also the mess behind everything. I am kind of in the middle of going through everything that is my witchy supplies, because I do need to switch out my altar from Lunasa to Mabon. Normally this would have been done the first new moon after Lunasa, but I decided to keep it up until my 30 Days of Magic videos were done, and those I'm down to, I think I have like 4 or 5 more to do. So yeah, so it's been up, but I'm starting to kind of go through everything and decide what goes and what stays. So things are kind of chaotic, but I did want to get this video made. So starting with the first thing, I have this little paper mache skull. I got it at Michael's, normally $1.99. It was on sale for half off, so 99 cents. These are great. I bought a bunch of these a few years ago for my wedding. We were having a pirate wedding, and the centerpieces were treasure chests with little skulls and stuff, so I got a bunch of these and painted them up to look like skulls, and I absolutely love them. And then I got the idea a few weeks ago to make spell skulls, and I decided this would be what I would use as well, so I bought a bunch of these. I'm gonna keep kind of buying them throughout the year, because once Halloween's done, Michael's doesn't carry them anymore. If I really get smart, I'll learn how to make them all up on my own, because that would be awesome. But for now, I'm buying them from Michael's for 99 cents. So I got that. Then this is just a candle holder, also from Michael's. I believe it was $5.99. They had it with a white background with black skulls as well, but I liked the mostly black. I am going to witchy it up by writing a spell on this, and it will be still a candle holder, but once that candle that I make for it burns down, it can still be used for a offering plate, or to hold a thing of incense. I'll find a purpose for it. No matter what, this will be part of my hell altar, probably after it's done with the candle that I'm making for it. This is actually not really Halloween-y at all. I bought it from Michael's in the dollar bin. I believe it was with their Christmas stuff, but I really liked it, and I wanted to add it to my friend Emily and Nicole's wedding gifts. It's just a skeleton key. I believe it's resin, not metal. I would have preferred metal, but so be it. One of their colors in their wedding was gold, and it says love, and I'm going to witchy it up a bit by putting some herbs in it. Oh, excuse me, because that's how I roll, and maybe write a little spell down here. Not sure quite how I'm going to work it yet, but I really liked it. I thought that would be cute for their little candle set. This is going to be my Halloween tree. It was $3 at Target in their dollar section. I absolutely adored it. What my plan is, I have a tradition currently with Carnunos where I've got some oak branches on his altar, and at every Sabbath I take a piece of green ribbon, write something I'm thankful for or something I want to focus on, and tie that ribbon to the oak branches. And I'm going to do the same thing from Mabon till Samhain, and hang the ribbons from here. Maybe if I find little jack-o'-lanterns to put up here, I'd like that. The Halloween tree, incidentally, is also my favorite Halloween movie. I absolutely adore Hocus Pocus, don't get me wrong, guys, but the Halloween tree is it's a book by Ray Bradbury, and he narrated the cartoon, and Leonard Nimoy as Munchausen is just, he terrified me in my dreams. And it's great because it goes into the history of Halloween and just kind of seeing where our traditions came from. It talks a little bit about Samhain. It goes into the Egyptian traditions as well. I believe it goes to France to talk about gargoyles. And then Mexico for Day of the Dead. And throughout all of this, they're also trying to save their friend. It's a great movie. I love it. It really helps to kind of remind us that although things tend to get commercialized in America, as well as, I'm sure around the world they do, but especially I feel in America things get commercialized, and really the meanings behind holidays and things change so much. And it's a good movie to kind of remind us, hey, this is built on traditions. You know, Samhain as a pagan is such a huge thing for me. And Halloween is very separate from it. And I do celebrate them separately. So it's kind of a good movie for that. Just kind of showing, although I separate them out, they are still very interconnected. If that makes sense. So moving on. These, I've got 2 of them, are little railway, I don't think they're railway ties, they're too small I think, but they're spikes and they're iron, and I love them. I got 2 of them. I'm going to do them up for protection and cleansing. I bought them at Pagan Pride this Saturday. Last Saturday, they were $5 each. And this booth I got them from was Mojo Courier, I believe. And they had a few of them that they themselves had witchied up. So they had the spells, they had the stones on them and the correspondences and such. But and they were beautiful, they were great, but none of them really felt right. So they also were selling these by themselves, so I figured I would try my hand at making them. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited to try that out. This little guy I got at Target for $1. Super cute. I just thought it was adorable. It also, they come in orange. But I bought it for a witchy purpose. I'm going to make this into a dedication pumpkin, for lack of a better phrase. New Year's Eve, I do try to do resolutions. I don't try to do the weight thing. I don't try to do, the going to the gym and this and that, because I know I won't stick to it. It's just, if I'm going to do something like that, I'll do it regardless of the time of the year. So I try to focus on something a little bit more meaningful. But I did want to acknowledge Samhain as the end of the year for my spiritual purposes. And I thought, what a great thing to do is to make a dedication and stick it through, the hole to put it into the pumpkin. And then every time I sit down to work on that dedication, to bring that wish or that want to fruition, I can either write down what I'm doing on a strip of ribbon, or if I'm writing a spell, or just musing, or an inspiration quote, or even just, Carnunos, I ask for your aid, or hell, I ask for your help, or good folk, please aid me in this. And just, once I'm done writing through, weave it into the pumpkin. And then next Samhain, when it comes time, I can undo it and kind of revel in that. I think I might make that my Mabon tradition, is I'll undo the pumpkin and give thanks to everything that helped me along the way, and I'll have all those ribbons kind of showing my progress, and I can burn the dedication, and I'll have this ready for Samhain again. So yeah, I actually just kind of worked out how I'm going to do that. So I'm excited about that. I apologize for the sniffling. I know it drives me nuts to hear people sniffle, so I'm sorry. It's just kind of what I got right now. This is a plaster skull. It is just a small little guy. I don't know if it's plaster. I'm thinking it's just resin, but yeah, resin. It was $4 at Michael's, and I'm kind of going to do what I was talking about with the paper mache, but this is going to be actually a gift I'm making for someone else for anniversary. The guy really likes skulls, so I thought it would be appropriate to do a little spell skull for him, and write the spell perhaps on the back of the skull, and then dress up the skull and make it all pretty. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of excited about that. And back here, this is actually something I got on clearance at Target. It was part of their summer collection to go out with the patio or the greenhouse or what have you. Not greenhouse, greenhouse, there we go. It's an LED light, candlelight, or tea light, votive, there it is, it's a votive. And it's got a votive holder. But I thought this would be great for someone. I really wanted to put, get a big LED to put outside, but dress the candle like I would a normal candle, but it be, you know, flameless, so it's not going to fall over and set everything on fire. And this I thought would be good to have on the inside for someone. I'll use it very much like a spell orb, where you put, you know, the herbs and the rocks and the spell itself and any other little feathers or seashells or whatever you want to put in here. And then you have the light to illuminate it. So I think that's kind of a cool idea. I'm going to try that out. I'm excited. And that was only $7. No, I'm going to save you for last. This is also for that anniversary gift that I'm making up. Again, whenever you make something for someone else, it's good to keep their taste in mind, as long as you do still need to find a way to resonate with it, since you're doing the spell work on to something, since you're giving your energy, you have to believe in what you're doing. So you have to find a way to correspond. Weddings might seem like an odd thing to associate with skulls. I get it. But for, you know, for some people that it makes perfect sense. For me, I really don't have that hard of a time equating it, simply because marriage is kind of a death cycle. I know that sounds horrible, but let me explain. You are ending your life as a singleton. You are ending your life as your own person. And although you still retain your own personality, because I certainly don't think marriage means you become someone else, but you are now responsible for somebody else as well. It's no longer just you against the world, it's you and your partner against the world. And you're beginning a new life together. I truly believe in that transition, and if you don't recognize that transition, it's just kind of like, well, why get married then? I just don't see a purpose in it unless you see the significance. So I'm able to resonate with that. For this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some, I'm going to probably hollow out that bottom part, put some herbs in it to kind of just help with keeping love young, and yarrow is really great for that. Maybe some lilac to keep good memories. Rosemary also helps with that. Lilac also helps with beauty and love. Roses obviously are a go-to. So yeah, I'll kind of go through and find the herbs I want to use and hollow that out and put them in, and that will be that. Obviously dress it with some oil. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. And then this is my last piece. I am so in love with this. It's just a skeletal hand. I got it from Michael's for $4. It is glorious to me. I'm going to put it on my Hell altar, and Hell, being half skeletal, half maiden, has a hand that is skeletal while the other hand is, you know, flesh. It's like yours and mine. And it's said that when she approaches someone in life, she will extend her skeletal hand. So like if she comes to you to have you follow her, like as a matron, or for her to help you, she will extend her skeletal hand to you as you are the living. In doing that, she's asking that you embrace your fears, embrace your shadow self, embrace the darker side of things. Not that you yourself become dark, but just accept things as they are. That is when she will work with you. When you are at peace with all sides of yourself. Like if you need to work on things, you always need to work on things, sweetie. It's just going to be that way. But if you look at her in horror and are afraid of her, she's not going to be able to help you. if you're too scared of her to take her hand, she can't help. So she extends her skeletal hand to those that are alive, and then when you pass on and she aids you in bringing you to the other side, she extends her human hand, or her maiden hand, as a sign of comfort. So I kind of like that idea that in life, it's about embracing our fears, exposing us to things that maybe we wouldn't want to see. It's about experiencing everything, even kind of maybe the darker side of things. And only then are we really going to get the life experience that we want, is by looking at everything and being a part of everything, even the darker stuff. It's about balance. I don't think anyone can be all dark where it's just, oh, I'm just about death and destruction and this and that. It's like, no, sweetie. I mean, that's great, because from destruction and death comes life and rebirth, but you need to have that life and rebirth to get the full effect. It's the same way as, fluffy bunny syndrome, which I really struggle with, mostly because I don't see anything wrong with being positive and being happy, but it's the same breath that you can't be happy and positive all the time. You're going to have moments of negativity. You're going to have moments of going within yourself and just being like, I don't know what to do. I really, even to the point where you even think, I really hate myself at times. You have those moments of self-doubt and those moments of shadow, and you need to work through that. You need to experience that to get to the happiness, to get to the acceptance, to get to the love. And this is turning into a self-love September video, but it ultimately, back to the hand, I really liked that. So this is going to go on my hell altar. I'm going to dress it with my offering oil, and then I think what I'm going to do is put it on her altar, and things that I make her, like I write poems for her, I write letters to her, things like that, I'll put in the hand. And then when they've served their purpose, or I feel like they've gone to fruition, I will burn them and send some of the ashes out into the universe. But then I also will keep them to work on further things with her, because ash I do use in a lot of my memorial candles and incenses and stuff. So yeah, so I absolutely adore it. I think it's so cool looking, and it just works so beautifully for my purposes. So yeah, so that is my first witchy haul video, which was much more of a Halloween haul, I know, but again, I do plan on using these for witchy purposes, so I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I hope you enjoyed it. I do have a lot of crafting I'm going to be doing, so I'm going to be making more videos. Thanks for hanging in there with me, guys, and please like and subscribe. All that fun stuff. Warm fuzzies. Heart you all. Blessed be.